what's up? It's Kathy and I'm back with another process video. And this one is just something that I did myself, so it's not for any design teams or anything. And I'm using a whole bunch of scraps and leftovers, and I just happen to have a cut file from the Just Knit cut file shop that I had kind of cut out of some spare paper while I was doing like another cut file for another project. So I just ended up using it as well, and that's pretty much because there's so much layers that are square going on that I wanted even something circular. All the papers that you see are either one piece of paper is this little teacup set, and that was from Pebbles, I think, and it was a 6x6 paper pad. Everything else is just scrap paper that was in any one of my drawers. And for instance, that butterfly stuff was a whole paper, and I just happened to have a strip of the butterflies. So I'm pretty much just making this out of scraps. As I said, the ombre kind of diamond one is from Pretty Little Studio, and I wanted to use it because there's red in her outfit because she's got a Minnie Mouse dress on. This is my daughter. I took some pictures the day that she graduated from preschool, like the daycare program, and she was going to be going into kindergarten. And so she got all dressed up in this cute little dress and red glittery shoes and all that kind of stuff. And outside of her kindergarten, since it was the morning, I took a few pictures, and the way that the sun kind of, I did it in front of a bush in front of the daycare, and sorry, just the way the sun shone down on it. I just loved the way that the pictures turned out. They're just really adorable, and I knew I had to scrap them. I had a ton of them, and these were the three that I liked the best. And I knew I wanted to have one large and then two smaller ones because I didn't see the need in having huge photos for everything. I mean, I'll probably use one in a portrait in the house, so I don't need them huge here. But I did print one fairly large. I think it's bigger than a 4x6, or it is a 4x6 with a white border around it. So this is fairly big for kind of what's typical right now in scrapping, but I'm kind of trying to, I really was channeling like I've mentioned it in the last few videos, is that the style that I've kind of been channeling recently has been from the 2012 to 2014 kind of scrapbooking, and this is very reminiscent of that for me, and I kind of am still going with that. I think that was kind of my favorite time that I got a lot of inspiration from, and so I kind of want to go back and reclaim it, because I used to save like a lot of pictures on Pinterest and then not kind of go through with them, I guess, or just kind of use them as inspiration, but then they got pushed down in the Pinterest board, so I stopped looking at them. Anyway, so I've been really looking at them again, and trying to like use up some of this kind of vintage looking stuff that I'm certain a lot of us have. And one of the ways I really like doing something like that is, if I got a lot of vintage papers, is to combine it on a white background, and I just love the look of it. I think that the juxtaposition is really nice, and because the cut file is in white, you just see it, like you barely see it. You could use a doily for this and get the same finish, but I just happen to have that with me. And so these are just more scraps that were in my scrap drawer, and I ripped the tops just to kind of have not everything be perfectly perfect straight lines. And I just kind of really love how this ended up looking. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do across that big space of paper. I have that kind of vintage green paper, and then I had a piece of green light green vellum, and so that's what I put over it, and it just kind of gives it a mask, but it's not a layer of pattern paper, so it's not really detracting or contrasting too much with any of the other patterns. And I've brought in quite a few different colors, as well as the peaks of red around the photo, which I find really help it stand out from the rest that's going on, because there's so much green in the photo, and then there is quite a bit of green going on in the papers as well. And I love that color green. I really love that combination of green with anything, and it's not all that common right now for people to use that color green. So and when I say people, I mean like designers in collections to use that color green. So if I get something that is that color, I tend to hoard it. So that little strip of paper that's polka dot, I bought that a long time ago at Michael's, and I have hoarded every last scrap of it. Like, there might be a little square of it left, and I'm still going to keep that in case I want to back a cut file with it. Like, I'm not getting rid of it. So the wood veneers that I had were just actually, I just found them on my desk. They were in a pile of embellishments that never got put away. I have huge piles of embellishments that never get put away. And so they were just sitting there, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to grab these because they are sitting on my desk and they would go perfectly with this. And that big flower is from Maggie Holmes Shine, which is a little bit of an older collection, but the greens and the pinks and the yellows worked really well. The banner I made out of the Carousel collection sticky tabs, and I had to keep, those would be great to stick down and then sew down, but I didn't sew them down. So I had to go back and stick them down a little bit more because they weren't staying very well. And that Hello Lovely is also from the Shine collection. I think for chipboard, I primarily just use that collection, which is older, but I haven't used it up yet, as you can see. So getting to use some of it up is awesome for me. Makes me happy. And the fact that I was able to combine that newer collection into this and have it all look coherent and cute is nice. And I love that butterfly strip at the top. I think that's an old My Mind's Eye paper or something. And I really, really think it's pretty. And I bought it after my daughter was born because I was like, ah, girl, I bought her cute butterflies. Not that I don't mind scrapping butterflies on boys' stuff at all, but it made me buy a whole bunch more stuff, and I've mentioned that before. I didn't think about title placement when I made this. I mean, I did and I didn't, but after I put the Carousel banner strip across, I realized, well, I can't put the title there anymore, which was kind of where I had thought about doing it. So I decided to do it up the side, which is kind of, I don't know, it's not done as much. I used to love doing this kind of stuff, like making the title go around the page or something like that. So I'm using red glitter thickers that I think were from an older Christmas collection or something. I know that there are quite a few thickers that are the same font but just different colors and stuff. So I just wanted a little bit more of that red to come through, since there was red in the paper from Pretty Little Studio, and then there was the red on her dress, and the rest of the contrasting colors were pinks. So the red kind of really helped stand out. Like, it really stands out, and I really love how it looks. I drew some straight lines, or as straight as I think they are, on the side. I broke my look at my hair. Let's skip through that. I broke my ruler that helps make straight lines, so I was just kind of doing them by feel, and turned out fine. And I just wanted to have something on the other side. Since the title was on the left hand side, I needed something to balance on the right hand side, so I thought that the journaling would go great there. And since I wanted it to look good from the beginning, that's why I journaled before, because I usually don't journal before I take pictures or anything, but this helped create that balance so you can see the balance on the paper. And I'm just adding some stamping, which seems to be something I like doing now. Just adding kind of stamps almost the way you would do like ink splatters, but with my stays on, so it'll stay on the vellum. And then I'm using the Heidi Swap blush, which is a light pink, and I've been using that a lot lately too, like a dusty rose. And that's it. That's the layout. I really love this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and have an awesome day. Bye.